at all.
But there is, to be fair, they're not in the movie, but they are in the movie. You know what I'm talking about. At the end, there's a reference to Kids Over the Hill.
Uh-huh.
That's them.
No. By the way, did this movie come out of any of the weirdness you went through when you did Dogma?
No, not really, because they're not, like, Catholic weirdness is not like Christian fundamentalist weirdness.
Oh, okay.
Catholic weirdness is very judgmental, and how dare you? Jesus would be ashamed. And Christian fundamentalism is way worse and way deeper than that. They take it way more seriously. Catholics kind of, they're very Catholic and religious on Sunday. Other than that, they live fairly normal lives. So this came more from the Westboro Baptist Church. Just after watching these idiots for years and years and years, finally I was like, well, if they could go to a funeral and hold up a fucking sign and make someone's worst day of someone's life even more miserable, then I think I could do that, a different version, where I hold up my sign to them living, fuck their funeral, do it while they're alive, and bug them. And it did. It bugged them so much. Like Shirley Phelps Roper and her daughter, Megan Phelps, all the Phelpses came after me on Twitter and shit, and Megan would be like, you're going to burn in hell. She's like the 25, 26-year-old Phelps.
Yeah.
The most.
She's cute,
I've actually jerked off to her.
A hot one.
She's fairly attractive Phelps. And I would write back to her, like, she'd be like, you're going to burn in hell. And I said, Megan, my wife says if it'll save you from your cult family, we can have a three-way. I'm flirting with her like that, and then her mother gets in and says, you're a pig. You're going to hell and all this stuff. And we interacted with them for, for the better part of a year, because they kept coming to, like, they came to Sundance to protest the movie.
Nice.
When it's first screened, and then when we screened at Kansas City, the Midland, they live nearby in Topeka, they came to protest there. So the movie was kind of about them, or people like them, and they fell in love with it. I call them my marketing partners, because they help us out. We didn't spend any money putting the movie out, but when Phelpses show up to protest, that creates attention and stuff. So
that's huge.
I wouldn't say I owe them, or even I owe them a debt of gratitude, but I do owe them at least a thank you from time to time. Like, thanks for calling attention to our movie, which is kind of about you guys indirectly.
It's fantastic. Like I said, I just watched it a couple of nights ago, and I'm definitely going to watch it again. It's got that rewatchability just for the performances alone.
I was going through, man. I wanted to make, like, I spin Fargo at least once a week.
Oh, please. Yes.
So for me, and there's a lot of Fargo influence in that movie, particularly like the John Goodman half when he wakes up. That's straight out Fargo.
Yeah.
Very much so.
On the side of the bed, right. Yeah.
You gotta have a breakfast.
Totally. I want to make a flick where people would spin this movie the way I spin Fargo. Like, oh my God, I got nothing else to watch. I'll totally watch Red State. Like a cool movie. Like, I remember popping in Kill Bill 1,000 times when I got it on DVD. Like, and no matter what else was coming out, I was like, oh, I love this movie. I'll watch it again. And I still watch it regularly. That's what I want for Red State. And I know I feel that way about it. I think others can too.
That's very cool, man. And again, Michael Parks, his performance.
We're trying to get him nominated. We had a run out.
No shit.
He has to get nominated.
Shit.
We're trying. We had a run out. In order to qualify an actor for the Academy Awards, there's certain rules you have to follow and hoops you got to jump through. And one of them is you have to play for 1 week, standard week of play, in Los Angeles in a theater, and you have to take out a paid ad, which we hadn't done. So we took out 3 paid ads, one in the L.A. Times, a small one in the Village, not Village Voice, their version.
What kind of grease the industry shit is that?
No kidding, man.
It's a rule that's stuck around from way back in the day. That way you can't, I can't run you for the Academy Award.
Well,
you have to fall under these, unless you're in a movie.
Darn.
Well, there's a third thing, too, Kevin. The director has to pass a drug test. I think that was the...
I'm pulling myself out of the run here.
Oh, okay.
I don't want any... Like, here's my... The only way I could get Parks nominated is if I go out in there, because there's a lot of people who are like, fuck Kevin Smith and his stupid fucking movie and his mouth and shit. So in order to get past those people, and they're like fucking cancer, they'll be with us always. In order to get past those people, I have to lay it down on the sword, and I have to tell people left and right. Like, I didn't direct Michael Parks. Michael Parks directed himself. And that gives people a remove where they're like, all right, even if I don't like him, I could still vote for the dude in his movie. So we had this run at the New Beverly. It was awesome. But rather than just stick in the theater, I did a Q&A after each one, so we sold out like almost every show. And then, it followed that rule of playing in New York, followed the rule of taking out ads. And now we're fine. All we have to do is lobby. What I figure, like, rather than most people lobby the entire Academy, all I want is acting nods. I don't want anything for me or anything else. I just want actor nods. So we're going to go after SAG, and we're going to go after the Academy and make the DVDs and put them into everybody's hands. Hopefully by Thanksgiving, because I'm an Academy member too, and when it comes to Thanksgiving time, I want a stack of movies. That's when I watch all the Oscar movies. So I want to be part of other people's stack, because I want people sitting around after Thanksgiving watching Michael Parks going like, this guy has to get nominated.
He has to get nominated.
That would be great.
We had to play by the rules so closely, because what's her name? Linda Fiorentino. She was in that movie, The Last Seduction.
Oh, that's right.
Brilliant film, fantastic, and she gives a performance for the ages. Hands down, she should have been nominated, if not won. But because they played it on Showtime first, and then went to theaters, the Academy was like, well, technically it's a TV movie.
Wow. Didn't that happen to Mimi Rogers with The Rapture?
I think it might have. I don't know if it did or not. I don't know if they went TV first. I thought they were straight up theatrical features.
But she didn't get nominated, which was another crime.
Yeah, she was awesome in that. That movie is great. That movie has a lot of influence on Red State. If you know The Rapture, watch that and watch Red State, and you'll go, oh, okay.
Especially there's one great scene at the end of Red State. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but if you've seen The Rapture, there's a great, brilliant nod to it. And then an even better payoff, and I'll just leave it at that.
Even if you've heard of The Rapture, not the movie, just the concept of The Rapture.
It's that whole scene, and the payoff was so great.
It's just an actor's movie, man. You get to if you like performances, like porn for performance. You just sit there and watch actor after actor make unique, wonderful choices, believable choices. Like it never. Because did you notice there's no score in the movie? Since there's no score, it plays more like a docudrama.
Yeah.
And it feels even creepier. Like we're never telling you how to feel with the score. Like, here comes the scary and blah, blah, blah.
Holy shit, I didn't even realize that. What an adult I am.
When Ray is escaping, you hear a lot of like, and that's just repeated like boiler noises and never did a score. I mean, there's needle drop in the movie where you hear like a bit of a song on a radio in the sheriff's station. You hear a song on his boombox, and Parks sings about 3 times in the movie. And that wasn't even planned. Like he sang the first time, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's voice is beautiful. He's had a history of he's recorded albums. I think he's had 6 albums or something.
What?
Back in the day, he sang the song from Then Came Bronson.
He was the shit back in the Then Came Bronson days. Like chicks fucking all over the place, and
they called him the next James Dean, which he always hated because he was like, James Dean was difficult, and the same reputation got laid on me. But so he sings in the movie. And he's wonderful in the movie.
You know what's fucked up?
Let me finish. This is awesome.
Oh, fuck me.
He sings this one song. I come up to him. I was like, dude, that's fantastic, man. And he's like, thank you, thank you. Next day on set, everyone's singing a song. You're walking around, you hear people going, Father Alone. And it's a church song. And you're like, what the fuck are you singing that for? They're like, Parks, man, that's beautiful. And I was like, isn't it? It's hypnotic. So I went to him again on another scene. I was like, Parks, can you sing in this scene as well? Like you're walking away with Melissa and you're comforting her, sing her a song. He goes, all right, I'll sing Golden Bells. And he just rocks this fucking church hymnal. It's beautiful. Then I come to him for a third time at one point in the movie. He's like, Parks, we could put a fucking song. You could sing right here. And he goes, hold on. What is this, some sort of fucking Elvis picture?
That's a good comeback.
He's got a beautiful voice. And he goes, okay. And he did it again. He sings, he acts, he talks, he does it all.
And those are just songs that he knew?
Yeah, those are old religious standards. But I wouldn't say he necessarily knew them. Some he researched. The dude's a research freak, so he does his homework and whatnot. So he knew definitely some of them, and on others he was like, I found, like I had in the script it said, as you enter the Cooper's subterranean chapel, they're playing a mighty fortress is our Lord, which is that the song at the beginning of Davy and Goliath. And he came in, he was like, well, that's Lutheran. We would never sing that. So let's sing the old rugged cross instead. I said, what is it? He goes, well, it's an old gospel standard here. And he sang me a few bars. I was like, that's even better. It's creepier.
Straighten your ass out.
He had a head in that world of music. So for having him, it was bonus. I'm telling you, the dude paid out insane dividends. Aside from his performance, he brought us music. And the ending line in the movie, I don't want to spoil it, but that was his idea.
That was him?
Yeah, that was his idea. He goes, I think someone needs to say this. And he wanted it to be me, and he wanted it to be me on camera. And I was like, well, Parks, I can't do that. That'll pull everyone out of the movie. He goes, why? I was like, because they'll recognize me. He goes, from what?
What an asshole. That's funny.
I was like, dude, I had this whole other career back in the day. But he like, that's how it should end. He goes, you're listening to this old man talk this horse shit the whole movie. You got to end with that. And I was like, I'm so with you. He was the best. But the movie exists because of him. I saw From Dusk Till Dawn back in 1995. He's
Yep.
the sheriff in the first 10.
I was gonna bring that up.
That's what I was trying to
That
figure out.
scene-
He was in the beginning of the sheriff.
in
One of the
the-
best